Welcome to another review, everybody, and this time we're looking at yet another mod from Xoxide. This one's called the Coastline and Waterways Tools mod, and when I first looked at this mod, I didn't understand it. I didn't understand how it worked. I didn't understand the mechanics of it. I didn't understand the application of it. But having spent some time with it and having talked to Xoxide himself, this is an incredible mod. This has incredible potential both practically and also creatively, as you're going to see. But it does take a little bit of understanding because this exposes some hidden mechanics in the game. So let's just dive straight in and take a look at what this mod provides. Now, this mod adds 3 new options to your roads panel. And there are 2 types of regional waterway, and we'll come to those in a little bit. But first, we're going to start off with the regional coastline. And then we'll look at the regional waterways, and then we'll look at how this combines with the regional freeways to create some really incredible effects. But let's kick off with the regional coastline. Now, when you click on this, you'll see on certain maps that you'll find these green stripes appear. And this is how Maxis adds plot points to coastlines. If we take a look at, for example, a ferry, we've got the plot points down here. And that's been added behind the scenes using this tool. And that's now been exposed to us. So what can we do with this? Well, if you take a look at this map, we're very restricted in where we can put anything along the coast. So ferries, or not just ferries, but things like wave power plants, for example. So this tool allows us to add our own plot points. So let's take this regional coastline, and I'm going to come up here. And I've decided I want to put a ferry in it over here. Now, currently, I can't do that because there are no plot points. Right, let's add some, shall we? Now, when you're putting these in, you want to put them in so that the middle of the road is kind of right on the edge of the water. That will give you kind of the best look. So I'm going to put in a little strip along here, and then I'm going to go over to the ferry terminal, and bingo, we've got plot points. So let's just pop that in there. Now, it automatically moves the dock to the correct height for the water. So it'll automatically sink it into the terrain. And it doesn't give you any problems with connecting the roads up, which on some terrain on the existing maps it does, but for some reason these work absolutely fine. You can hook these up, no problem at all. And they function absolutely normally. So if you want to add a cruise dock, yeah, no problem. Let's add a cruise dock. Beautiful. But you're not restricted to actually putting these on the coast. You can actually put them anywhere. So if you want to be really crazy, we could take a regional coastline and we could put one up there, and then we can take, I love this, then we can take a ferry terminal and we can put a ferry terminal up here. Now, you're probably going to say, well, that's a bit crazy. But just keep watching, because as we get into the latter stages of this review, you'll see that you can do some really crazy things with this. Now, one slight problem. The ferries will not come to this ferry terminal. Now, why is that? And it's because there are hidden ferry routes, or hidden shipping routes. I should call them waterways, that we can't see. But with this new set of tools, we can actually see them. Now, there is a route that runs down here. okay, but it's hidden from view. Now, if we go to the regional waterway, and we'll pick the first one, and I'll talk about the difference between the two in a second. And if you draw a line from inside the plot to outside, you'll hook up to these. There you go. You'll hook up to these hidden routes. Now, actually, the best way to see it is to come over here with the art tool and come out from here, and you'll see there's this route that runs all the way up there and all the way down here, and that's the route that the ferries and the cruise ships follow, and you'll see them come down here and then going back up here. But without this tool, you can't see these. Okay, so let's go and have a look quickly at another plot where you can see this a bit better. So I've just popped over to Strasbourg Isles, and I'm actually in the Viridian Hills region if you want to actually look at these plots. And if I look at the regional waterway now, you'll see that this, because it actually cuts through the plot, it's you can actually see that part of the route. But if I take a line up here, you can see that there's a route that runs all around the outside of here and comes down here and then disappears off into the region over here. And as I said before, these are the routes that the ships follow. But we can now add our own. So how do we go about adding our own route? Well, it's really, really simple. All you do, I'm going to use the arc tool because I want to follow this curve around here. You just take this regional waterway, and just like a road, you just draw it down here until it hooks up with one of the regional routes. And I want this to come so down there. That's perfect. And I just pop that in, and what you'll see now is that the ferries and the cruise ships that come down here will follow this route down here, and then they'll come around the corner and they'll start coming to this ferry docks, which is awesome. Okay, so here comes a cruise ship, and let me just highlight this so that you can actually see. And you can see how this is following this route down here, and you'll see it come down here. Now, normally it would just follow this route round here, but because we've put in our new route, it now comes down here, and with a bit of luck, it might even drop a few. And yes, look, it's dropped some passengers off. Excellent stuff. So there you go. So you can now put your ferry docks anywhere you like, and you can put in the new routes to allow your ferries and your cruise ships to actually get to them. Now, there are two different types of regional waterway. The first one is a narrow one. It's 80 meters wide, I think, and it allows one ship on each side of the road, so that they'll go up one side and go down the other side. The slightly wider one will actually allow two ships to pass on each side, so you can have kind of two ships on one side and two ships on the other side. So if you want wide waterways, you can have those. Okay. Now let's take a look at what happens when you combine these regional waterways with the regional freeway. Now, those of you who are familiar with the regional freeway mod, and I'm sure a lot of you are, will be aware of one of its interesting properties, in that it has the ability to create water, like rivers and canals and lakes and things. And I'm just going to sink a road down here just to illustrate this, and then I'll trim off these ends. And we've created a nice little shipping canal, and if we want to, we can make it look pretty by putting roads around the outside to create nice walls. When you take this and combine it with the regional waterways, you can create something like this. So how about this for a bustling little trade port? I'd absolutely love what these mods allow you to do. Now, okay, with the regional freeway, you could build this kind of this harbour dock area, but to be able to have the ships coming in and out is just awesome. So let's take a closer look at some of the details. And the ground pollution map shows the roads at best if you're trying to see what's going on. And what I've done, I've used the regional freeway mod to lay some roads in here to create the dock area. And then let's take a look at the regional waterway. I've added this regional waterway route in here. Now, one thing I'll illustrate by turning this back on, speeding this up. You don't actually need water. The water is a purely visual thing. The ships, if you lay a waterway through land, they will quite happily sail through land and go to any docks or whatever, whether it's on water, on land, doesn't make any difference. They don't care. They completely ignore the land and just go to wherever. And I've added some regional coastline in here, so that I can add some of these really nice trade docks. And I think they make really nice additions to like an inland port. And look, oh, there's a ferry. It's turning around, it's coming back. Now, you do need to line like if you want to get a proper visual effect, you need to line these up correctly so that they're actually in the middle of the water. Mine was slightly to one side. I didn't get that quite right. But I think you get the general idea of what you can achieve using these mods. I mean, it is... I think it's fantastic. I love doing these kinds of industrial areas. So I think you know what's coming. Okay, it's Jamie Lee time, and I mean this is a great mod. I'm actually gonna give this 4 out of 5. The mod is absolutely awesome. I love it. It opens up a whole new creative area. And you could make a strong argument for saying it should get 5 out of 5, but there are one or two issues. You'll find that when you're trying to place docks anywhere near water that you've created, the docks won't go very close because the docks will say that they're overlapping the roads, which is it's a bit of a shame. But I've been talking to Xoxide, and we're going to put our heads together and we're going to try and see if we can improve this. So yeah, keep an eye out for updates to this, to these mods, I should say, and we'll see if we can't make it even better than it is now. Now, because it can be quite tricky to play around with, I'm going to do some tutorials and show you how to create these kinds of things in a brand new series, SimCity Offline and Unleashed, where I'm going to be focusing on mods and showing you how to do incredible things with all the new mods that are coming out. So like the one-way streets, and this mod would be a good example. So keep an eye out for that new series. That's it for this review. I'll see you soon. Peace out.